Airbnb horror stories number 4. I'm here with Laura. She hasn't heard this, so her reactions are going to be truly genuine. All right, it is Thursday night. I wish it was Friday.
I wish it was Friday too.
If Friday would be better, because I feel like for a Thursday night, this is too eventful.
It's only Thursday.
All right, so we got some people who came to stay with us, not through Airbnb, actually through some other agency. And they seemed totally okay. I was actually pretty stoked because they came to stay for 7 days. They came to stay in the room that's been empty. I was like, great, I'm going to, get a little bit of extra money. They came, and as soon as they came, then I realized one thing. One, they were locals. So I was like,
oh, no.
That's not great. Okay, maybe they're just like in between houses. But no, they apparently got rid of their house 2 years ago. And then like her sister had cancer, and then that's the story I got. Then she was helping her sister with the cancer and everything else. Then she had trouble walking up the stairs, and she had a cane. So immediately I jumped to it, and I was like, hey, can we change her downstairs? Let's see if someone's leaving. So we actually physically moved them downstairs.
Okay.
Because she seemed to have a lot of trouble. And then she said she was supposed to have had surgery 2 years ago. So and then it kind of like over a couple days, and usually around 7 or 8 in the evening, she started making noises. And I thought, and she sounded like she was yelling at her husband, but she wasn't really yelling at him, because I realized now that her husband was actually deaf, or mostly deaf, like about 80% deaf.
Okay.
So she was actually just yelling at herself. And then when we moved her downstairs, and suddenly I clued in to the fact that she was all worried, and she was locking her room, and she was afraid the kids might go in there, she said, because they might take her morphine. So here's a lady who's staying with me, who's supposed to have a surgery. She was supposed to have a surgery 2 years ago, who admittedly says she's taking a large amount of morphine. Now, it's a big assumption, but actually that kind of means that maybe she actually is someone who got addicted
to
pills. Now she keeps that problem going, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so her and this guy have been together for like 24 years.
Okay.
They don't have any kids together. They have their kids separately. They like to talk. I know a lot about them. I know that like 2 of the grandkids aren't even with her son anymore. They're in the state of in the custody
Of the
with the state. They're basically I'm in the fire zone. Wait. I'm in a fire zone.
But why is he waiting behind you?
I don't know. But maybe he's a cop. I've had too much drama already today. Anyway, so this lady then went, and today I'm at Science World. I'm having a good time. It's fine, everything's fine. I get a phone call, and my mom's calling me, and then she calls again, then she calls again, and then she texts me, emergency. And I'm like, it's never an emergency, so I'm just going to keep having fun with my kids. I want to have a good time, actually. Anyway, and then I phone her back. And then apparently this lady had taken her claws, and she had scratched the back of her husband's neck to the point that he was bleeding and he was injured. At which point, apparently, he had packed all of his stuff and he was leaving. So the emergency my mom was calling about was that she wanted me to find out if the husband could now, obviously for an extra room fee, go book upstairs away from her, right? And I'm like, you want me to stick him upstairs with my kids?
No. What the hell?
Anyway, the room was available, and I said, and she's like, so how much would it be? And I'm like, well, $55 plus a $25 cleaning fee. Of course, he doesn't want to pay the $25 cleaning fee, so that's going to dissuade him, right? But I'm like, yeah, if I have to clean the room twice, yeah, you're paying the cleaning fee, because I'm not going to go and deal with this and whatever.
Especially blood.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's been scratched, whatever. Then he left. He found some friend to stay with in Surrey, and he left. And then I get another phone call. And again, I get home, eating dinner, everything is fine, emergency. And I go downstairs, and the other person who's staying down there and my mom, they both said that they're both scared that she's acting erratic, that she's walking around talking to herself, kind of slamming doors, and she keeps shuffling like into her room and back, and then into her room and back, kind of like in a chaotic way. And then she's like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, call mental health?
Call 911.
Call 911. I'm like, that's
if
not.
You don't feel safe.
That's got nothing to do with calling the agency or the people who we booked with or anything. That's got to do with your own safety, and your safety is your prerogative. And she's not a tenant. She doesn't have the suite. You know what I mean?
She has no rights.
She has no rights. And I'm like, I feel bad about it. I'm not going to withhold her possessions, but I'm not going to be endangering
your family.
Yeah, and my family, right? Anyway, so this is like literally the second time this month. I mean, this is the second time this month cops have showed up at my house. Very cute, good-looking, nice cop. He was very sweet. We explained the whole situation. It was very funny. He kept looking at me for clarification, but whatever. And then they took her away, and she's spending the night at a facility. And tomorrow, Friday morning,
she said they're going to let her go.
They're going to let her go.
Yeah.
So Kai's going to go to work. My mom's going to go to work. And I'm going to be at home alone with Ophelia. And I have to give her access to her stuff.
I put it outside.
I am. That's what I said. I'm putting it outside.
She doesn't have keys to the house.
I've changed the code.
Okay, just pack it all up and put it outside tonight.
Isn't it crazy?
Fuck.
I mean, it keeps happening.
It's ridiculous.
It's just the rule. The rule is no locals.
You need to record her knocking at your door in the morning.
Do I really?
Well, no, just don't open it. When she knocks, just record what she does.
Why?
In case she goes crazy.
She won't go crazy. She's an injured woman with a bad back and bad knees and bad everything.
Yeah, but she's got a bad head.
I know.
Crazy. Yeah, just don't answer your door.
I just don't want her to bite me.
No, she's not going to bite you. Press pause.
Anyway, that is Airbnb horror story number 4, which might be a continuation because obviously it's not over, because actually she's coming back tomorrow. Now, I wish I was making this stuff up. I'm going to say that it's not based on real people. I'm going to say this is a simulation based on completely artificial and untrue events. And this is no reflection upon any agency, Airbnb, or anybody else. This is just my interpretation of obviously unfactual.
Press stop.
Stop.
Can you just drop me off